Today we're going to talk about a banjo truth, and that truth is there is no drop thumb. Welcome to Banjo Blitz.
Banjo Blitz!
So this lesson is inspired in part by a couple of students that I've had over the course of this past week who have been struggling with the drop thumb technique. Now, I love to teach the drop thumb on day one of clawhammer. I don't believe it is an advanced technique. I don't think there's really much difference between a double thumbing pattern and a drop thumb pattern. In fact, I see the only difference between double thumbing and drop thumbing is the distance between your striking finger and your thumb. That is all that changes. Mechanically, they are identical. Rhythmically, they are identical. So once you realize this, you get a little bit of a perspective on what drop thumb is. It's just a double thumb on a non-fifth string string. Let me show you. So we've got a double thumbing pattern. Our favorite double thumbing pattern, the easiest one on strings 1 and 5. Go back to Banjo Blitz episode 1 and you can really work that out. And of course the beast really will help you get there if you want to check that video out as well. So now let's put another exercise right on the back of that one. We're going to do a series of drop thumbs on for strings 1 and 2. Okay, so back to back it looks like this. Mechanically, those two strokes should be identical. I know there's some of you who are saying, but wait, dude, there are strings in the way. Unlike a double thumbing pattern on strings 1 and 5, where you can just freely plunge down past the string and hit the head, and then grab that fifth string and pull back out, we've got to contend with these strings that are blocking the path of the thumb from plunging into the banjo and getting your pad on that string. Well, you need to just do it anyway. You need to throw your hand down into the banjo, simultaneous to the downstroke. Your thumb will crash into strings 3, 4, and 5 and sort of push them into the banjo as if they're not there. And then you pull back out with your thumb having contacted your second string. And you get a nice, fat, big drop thumb sound. Make sure when you're doing this in a tune context, I mean, you're rarely going to play a bunch of drop thumbs in a row like that. Some sort of notey arrangements have that kind of passage in it. Whenever I see that, as an aside, I remove it because I cannot stand back-to-back drop thumbs. I think they sound not so good, but that's my own personal bias. If you may love them, and that's totally cool. But in the context of a tune, you've got to be able to get your drop thumb and have it be consistent with the groove that you've established with the tune. It can't be laying behind. It can't be disrupting your groove. It's got to be on target. And the way to get that is to make sure that your drop thumb is a double thumb. Your thumb is in place before the hand even starts its descent. It's not catching up to get there. Your thumb is in place as you start your descent into the banjo. You plunge into the banjo, and simultaneous to your downstroke, your thumb contacts the string that you want to thumb. Simultaneous to that downstroke. That is critical. So when I say there is no drop thumb, I'm not saying you can't put your thumb on other strings. What I'm saying is the idea of drop thumb is not useful. Double thumbing is where it's at. If you concentrate on your double thumbing patterns and move them to other strings, it can give you just enough of a perspective change to make sure that you don't disrupt your groove in the process. This is kind of a subtle point, so I want you to take some time and think about what's going on. And if I were to sum this video up, it's this. The only difference between drop thumb and double thumbing is the gap between your striking finger and your thumb. And I will leave you with that thought. Let me know if you have questions or need some clarification. I know this is a little bit of an esoteric topic, but I really think it has practical uses. I want you to go back to your banjo, and I want you to really have a slightly different perspective on your right hand mechanics dealing with double thumbing and drop thumbing. No real exercise today, just fool around with that, and I will see you next week. And have a good week.